Yo, so I ended up making another one divine build, which is a Shockwave Bleed Gladiator. And this one turned out pretty well, I would say. I really like it. Like, it's super solid. Has pretty good damage, pretty good speed, pretty beefy. And yeah, just a really nice playstyle. And yeah, just a nice build, I would say, especially for the budget. And I'm also surprised how well melee bleed works on this small budget. Like, pretty good damage for the cost. And here's the costs. It's pretty much on the budget. I guess if I count like jewelers and chromatics as well, it's probably a little bit above, but oh well. And there isn't any big costing item. It's just a lot of really good items stacked up together. And the most expensive item was just a Blunderbore 5 link. And yeah, because I'm using Blunderbore, I just need like really good rares that are like 10 chaos or more. And what the build is, I wanted to make a Shockwave build with bleed. So Shockwave is this support gem right here. You can link it to any attack skill. I'm just using Cyclone because it costs like no mana if you have these kinds of jewelry. And when you hit something with Cyclone, it procs the Shockwave, which is a really nice AoE big base hit, which is great for scaling like Ignite or Bleed. And since Shockwave doesn't care about your attack speed, I can also use Morrow Hierarchy. So this is a really big base hit weapon, but has a really crappy attack speed. But well, the attack speed doesn't matter, so it's just playing with the upsize, which is great. And it's also super cheap. So that's how I'm scaling most of my damage. But the Shockwave doesn't actually do that much damage, honestly. So I'm also using a Wall Flicker Strike for like bosses and stuff. And this does like 3 times more damage even on a 5 link, which is pretty great, but it's a little clunky to use sometimes. You get stuck in animation and yeah, it just takes a while. But it's still nice. But since bleed isn't really meant for a single target, I would say, I went for more like a mapping setup. So what I am using is Blunderbore, which is a really nice chest. It gives 2 shrine buffs and also increased shrine effect on you. And the shrine buffs is just massive and brutal. And brutal is nice because it gives knockback, which is great because if you didn't know, bleed only deals damage, like most damage, while the enemy is moving. And when you're knockbacking mobs around, they count as moving, so it's just a nice quality of life. But some bosses are immune to knockback, so I also have a weapon swap to a bow, just spam and snaring arrow to keep them counting as moving. And that's pretty much it. Since I'm using a Blunderbore, I need a bunch of strength on all my gear. So you can see all my gear has like plus 50 strength, plus 50, plus 50, 50. Even the belt has some strength. And yeah, I'm just barely hitting it, but it's pretty easy to hit actually with like just a little bit better gear and like what's it called again? The catalysts for more attributes. And since I have so much investment in Shrine, it also makes sense to invest into shrines in the Atlas tree. So for example, this cluster gives increased shrine duration. And here gives extra shrines and also shrine buff effect, which is great. And this gives, so if you click a shrine, you get 2 buffs, which is pretty dope to hit those big ticket buffs. And yeah, so if you get like a really good shrine, it's just you just turn into an absolute monster. I hope you can see later. And for the passive tree, it's pretty simple. I'm a gladiator, just has really good bleed scaling, some movement speed, and yeah, it's just a nice tendency. And the passive tree is really generic. Bleed tree. Guess important stuff is I'm grabbing unwavering stance, so I don't get stunned. Also resolute technique, so I never miss, which is pretty important because Urki has a minus accuracy rating. And I'm also using Call to Arms with this Warcry cluster for this mastery. So that means I can just have left Enduring Crown left click and I get the charges out of combat, which is just nice quality of life. And since I'm not using deadly ailments in my setup, and Shockwave does like a pretty good base hit, I can also grab these Fortify nodes just to get Fortify, which is yeah, just nice damage destruction. And that's pretty much it, I think. Like, it's a really simple build, but it works really nicely, so Let's do like a Minotaur. So the playstyle is really straightforward. You just wanna, when you see a pack, you wanna Cyclone once to proc Shockwave. And that usually kills everything. And if there's like a rare inside them, that will get popped as well, as you can see. Yeah, really nice coverage.
My spirit is spent.
You can see rares can take a while to kill sometimes. Ooh, so I got a resistance shrine buff now, which means now I have 90 max stress, which is pretty nice. Oh, now I got a speed shrine as well. Really starting to ramp now. Ooh, now I got a massive shrine, now I'm really huge with really big AoE. Lot more life. You can see it really gets crazy. Oh, and I also got the regen shrine. Now I have like 2000 life regen. Yeah, it's just a lot of fun. And for bosses, if they're solo, like Minotaur for example, I just, well, Flicker Strike. Takes a while. But yeah, after that I swap to my bow and I spam Ensnaring Arrow. And you can see it does like half HP, which is, it's okay for a 4 link, I think. Probably a 6 link would start one-shotting Guardians. Yeah, after that it takes a while, sadly. Shockwave just isn't meant for a single target, I'd say. But yeah, that's the job for sure. Yeah, that's the build. Let me know what you think, and I'm gonna catch you later.